What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Keto Rewind. Thanks for clicking on today's video. Today is a week 277 update of my keto journey, or my journey where I'm rewinding my health from a morbidly obese weight to a healthy weight, living a ketogenic lifestyle, high protein, low carb, putting that blood, sweat, and tears into my journey to actually make those changes to a new, healthier me. I will say I'm not a medical doctor, not a healthcare professional, but if you enjoy seeing weight loss inspiration, a true battle to overcome obesity, make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on those notifications so you don't miss any videos. Now, with that said, let's talk about today's topic. Alrighty, so week 277 was a good test for me. I have been on this routine, this determination kick, this structure, like just rigid self-control. Like, I've been on this kick for a while now. I want to say 2-3 months now, where it was so reinforced, where I'm doing it every single day, where I'm making that effort, where I've not had any slip-ups, where I've not made any mistakes. I've fought every chance I had to win this battle. So this past week was the first one of those weeks where it was a test full of possible triggers. These particular events in the past have made me go way off track before. I've given into the illusion of a convenient excuse to resort into old, self-destructive, bad habits, if you will. So I had my anniversary with my husband. A couple days later, it was his birthday. My kids had several parties that were sports, their sports teams, end of season parties. There was like 4 things this week that normally would have been like, oh yeah, this is like, this is the old me. I get to have, alcohol, cake, all the stuff you have in parties, right? The party food, all the stuff that just is stuff that I can't have in my life. So last week was filled with those convenient excuses that I could have used to self-destruct, to indulge more than I needed to, to just revert to old ways, right? The ways that got me to 309 pounds in the first place. Because while a party or a get-together or a special occasion or a vacation is wonderful to just let up and have fun and live, the old me would have continued past the date of whatever we were celebrating or vacationing or, whatever the party occasion was. And it would have continued on days, weeks, months after that, where I just was like, didn't care. The new me was like, okay, I will be a part of the celebration. I will find ways to work around it. It will only be that day. I'll just get back on it the next day. So it comes down to, or the thought process or the title that we're going to talk about this week is, do you want weight loss or not? And that comes with a list of discipline that you encounter on a daily basis, right? So for me, last week I had so many convenient excuses where I could have justified behaviors, right? And nobody would have looked a different way. Who's going to be mad that you went out to a anniversary dinner with your husband? Who's going to be mad that you had a slice of birthday cake at somebody's party? Who's going to, throw shade at you if you had party food or alcohol, right? Because that's life. That's what people do. Nobody's going to frown upon that. With that said, for people like me, that is triggers for me. That is like all the old habits want to bubble right back up to the surface and take it beyond that day or that occasion or that vacation. So I was battling that multiple times this past week, and I navigated it like a champ. For one, just because it was a birthday or it was a celebration or it was a day off or it rained or whatever, I still walked. I still got my 5 miles in that I have disciplined myself to do each day. As you can tell, probably by my tan, I'm out walking. It's time, the summer's here, we're gonna fill in the rest of the tans, but point being, I'm out getting fresh air, I'm getting my natural vitamin D, I'm moving my body, I'm getting my water in, I'm getting the endorphins that exercise gives me, and it combats the behaviors that I will be doing for the rest of the day. In other words, I find that if I get that workout in, if I'm making those good choices, it is easier to make the right choice to keep my self-discipline in check at parties and, whatever the occasion is afterwards. If I chose to skip my workout or skip my routine, that's when I don't have as much control in the next part of the day. So for me, it is absolutely crucial that if I want weight loss, I have to be self-disciplined. And that means I get that walk in, I do those things that I normally do, I find a way to squeeze those still in my day, so that in the evening when I'm laid back and I'm relaxed and having a good time, I make better choices because I don't want to screw up what I did earlier that day, right? Or if I did indulge, I have a workout under my belt, to also help. This way I'm not like just purely, gaining weight. I mean, there's a little bit of a balance there, So for me, that was something that happened multiple times this past week. And I'm so proud of myself and so proud of the self-discipline. And mainly because we've had so much rain in Texas where I'm at, and I walked during rain. There was no thunder and lightning. It was just rain. So it actually felt pretty good. But it was one of those things where it's like I could have used the rain to just not go for that walk. I could have been like, oh, it's raining, let's read on the couch instead, or let's watch a movie, or whatever. Instead of getting out and getting up off the couch and getting it done, So I was super proud of that effort. And it comes down to, I want weight loss. And that means XYZ. That means I need to use my self-discipline. I need to make the better choice when I'm in the situation. It also means that if I happen to make a choice that's not ideal, I have another way to navigate through that to snap out of it, so it limits it to that occasion, that vacation, that one event, that one party. And that's not a party that just lasts all week and I just keep going, right? There's an end point. And that's how the diet is so important when you're in the weight loss journey. It's not all about the exercise and the physical part. That nutrition matters so much. So there's just got to be a way to navigate your day to day, where you can have success. With that said, I also have a few other points I want to talk about. You have to be honest with yourself. At the end of the day, are you going to skip a party because you could gain weight? Or it could slow your weight loss down, or it could cause you to have a trigger. You got to be honest with yourself. If it's something that you can just navigate around and limit to that occasion, there's no reason to hide from it. It's life. You're going to have all the time in the world to lose the weight. There's no set date where you have, don't put a timeline on your weight loss. Like, I need to lose 20 pounds by June 14th. That's just stupid. That's not going to come off and stay off, and you're just going to re-yo-yo those weight, that weight right back on. If you lose the 5, you'll gain back 10, and with that theory, right? So you need to find a way to still live in the process. So if you can be honest with yourself and either bring your own food, plan and prepare, you don't have to drink alcohol at parties. You can bring your own drink and you can put it in a cup that nobody can see what it even is. If it's just water, you can just find a way to navigate where you can still enjoy. And when you're honest with yourself, you know your limits. You know what you can do and how to navigate them. Deep down, you know you. So if that means you have to bring your own drink and, measure it out or whatever it is, then do that. If you know that you can have George go get you a drink and he'll bring you something that's a good choice, have George go do it. Be honest with yourself. But at the end of the day, you know yourself best. So sometimes it is also relevant that you don't put yourself into the situation to begin with. So if you're in the beginning, like the first week of a weight loss journey, that's not really the time for a party. I've been at this with strict self-discipline now since really October of 2023, but diligently for the last 3-4 months, I've been after it, right? So it's not like this is my first day. I've had months to prepare that self-discipline, that confidence, the slow momentum in my journey so that I could handle temptation and triggers and navigate them. It's not something you want to introduce that first week. I am way too weak that first week of a weight loss journey. It's like the minute it gets hard, I want to give up, right? So, but after months of self-discipline and routine and determination, you have a better grasp on being able to navigate those situations. So be honest with yourself and put yourself into those situations where you can have success, and then avoid those ones that you maybe know better than to put yourself in, you know? That doesn't mean you give up on them forever. Just means, well, maybe it's not a good time just yet, but I will get there, and make that a goal to work towards. And also, with that said, if you face that situation straight on, where you know yourself, you know your strength, you just know what you're capable of, where you're at in your journey, it's easier to face it head on than beat around the bush and try to make it happen and fill it in with, and then that self-doubt and all the fails and the yo-yos and all that starts creeping back in, and it's just not a good result. So the other thing is, trust your feelings even when other people don't. And here's the thing, you know, you're at a party, a celebration, you know, whatever, you're on a date, and someone bashes, like I get a lot of people bash keto all the time. When they're like, what do you do? You're like, whatever. You know, it's like, oh, I can't eat that way. Oh, it's too strict. It's like, there's just a list of, I can't do that. And sometimes it makes you be like, well, I'm the only one in the room that eats this way. Maybe I am the problem, you know? So you have like a little self-doubt. Sometimes I've had that happen in the past where I'm like, what am I doing? You know, like, this is crazy. I'm the only one that does stuff like that. At the end of the day, your own feelings are what matters more than anybody else's. So if they're not cool with you doing keto, who cares? It's your life to live. If you like eating keto because you love the way it makes you feel, love the energy, love what it's doing for your body and your health, keep doing it. It makes you happy, you know? So just remember, at the end of the day, nobody matters. Nobody's opinion matters, just yours. And if that means you do dirty keto instead of strict keto, so be it. If that means you do high protein, low carb versus keto, so be it. If that means you do, you know, intermittent fasting with keto, so be it. At the end of the day, you've got to do what you want to do, and to hell with everybody else's opinion on your weight loss journey. Ultimately, you know yourself best, and you will have success if you trust and listen to your own heart and your own desires, instead of your fears of not fitting in, or having it too hard, or not convenient because the world's not set up for keto. So that's basically one of the things that I've struggled with quite a bit in my 5 years living this lifestyle, is all the naysayers, you know, and all the temptation, and all the world's just not set up to be sugar-free, you know, to be unprocessed. You know, it's set up for convenience. It's set up to sell as much of it as possible. The world is just set up to sabotage you. So that's where that self-discipline, that do you want weight loss or not? You know, that thought comes in at the end of the day, and that's when you have all the answers you could possibly need to answer that. Because deep down, you know what you want. And if you truly want weight loss, you know what you have to do. You know, and if you are not seeing weight loss, it's because you're not doing something right, and you're not, you know, going through and seeing what you could do better and fixing those things, instead of just saying, well, it's too hard, it costs too much, it's, you know, I don't know how to eat that way, or, you know, whatever the excuse may be, right? So at the end of the day, I just want you to know you can do this. You can want this for yourself, and you can believe in yourself. You can set up the best self-care routine that like, when I think of my day, I know that each day I start off with a cup of coffee and my Kindle, and I read. Then I know that the next step after that, directly before it gets hot out, I gotta go get my workout in. Then I come back, pop in the shower real quick, get ready for the day. You know, then, oh, what are we having for dinner tonight? And, you know, let me run to the store, do that, like, and you know, so on and so forth. Oh, the kids have to do this. You know, I gotta pick them up from school. I gotta start dinner. I gotta do the sports, you know, and at the end of the day, whatever your routine looks like will work for you if you want it bad enough. So there's 24 hours in the day. Make time for you, make time for success, and your body will thank you for it. So I will say, I have a quick weigh-in tidbit. Despite all the struggles I had this week, being tempted and triggered by like all the reasons I talked about earlier, I still managed to scrape off another pound. So for those of you that might not be familiar with like my weight loss history on this channel, I thought I'd do a quick recap. So on February 11th, 2019, I'll put some pictures on here. I weighed 309 pounds. Then about, I want to say 14 months later, I got down to 180 pounds, which was a 129 pound weight loss. So I lost it really quick. It melted off, you know, and you can watch previous videos. I'll put the link in the cards here of my weight loss journey. I mean, it's been a roller coaster, but initially it melted off fast, right? So then once I got to my goal, I was 1 pound from my goal weight. I got overconfident. I started going back into my old ways. I started letting things that I normally had kicked out, I let them back in, thought I could control it. You know, I didn't truly learn all the things about myself. I just learned how to lose weight. So it was like the mental side of things where I was not at all recovered, right? Yeah, I physically was healthier and looked so much better, but mentally, it wasn't fixed yet. I hadn't worked through it. So that's slowly weight started piling back on. So fast forward over the past couple of years, I ballooned back up to 254. I'm not sure what that was initially, you know, like 70-ish pounds or whatnot. I'm off the top of my head. So then this was back in like October last year. I'm like, oh my gosh, forget this. You know, like I can't let this happen. You know, like I gotta work on this. I gotta fix this. I gotta put that work in. So I started with the 75 soft inspiration. And then I started making my own little tweaks to it, and I continued it long past that 75 days. And again, check those videos out. I'll put them in the description box below as well. But I slowly found a routine that worked for me, and I decided I didn't want to live that way anymore, and I want to make this right. I want to do it. I want something that's sustainable. I'm going to put that work in. I'm not giving up yet. So fast forward, I think in October I was 256-ish, around there. Don't quote me. So that was like the last time I really remembered hopping on the scale. So then I just started up again and had this new routine that I've been doing since like the beginning of this year. And that's with the 10,000 steps, which have turned into 15,000 steps. Living keto, drinking my water, you know, reading every day, you know, and then having that self-discipline. So fast forward to May of this year, I'm now down to 224. I've lost 85 pounds, but I have 44 pounds to re-lose until I get to my goal. But being at 224, that means Wonderland is in striking distance, and it's like one of those first mini goals that I can see that I'm not drowning in anymore. And basically Wonderland is where you weigh your weight starts with a 1. You know, my weight starts with a 2, right? 224. So Wonderland means you're in the ones. So I am getting closer, and that's with striking distance. It's motivating. It's like, oh, I'm there. Like maybe by the end of summer I can be there. So, but I can be there if I continue caring about myself, and I continue with my self-discipline that I so desperately have wanted for myself, that I put that time in. So basically I have 44 pounds to get back to my goal weight, where I can like lose the weight loss mode and go into maintenance mode. And I want that so bad, and I just like hopefully maybe by the end of this year I could be there. I don't know. It's just one of those things where it'll either come off or I'm gonna fight pound at a time. Either way, the time's gonna pass and I will get there. So are you in this with me? Do you want weight loss or not? You're like, comment below. Are you willing to put in the work? Are you willing to change your life and actually change it, or settle for, you know, a quick fix or a fad diet or a pill or some insignificant or injection, like whatever. Those things may work short term, but they will not fix you long term. And you'll end up what I've done in the past 5 years, where I yo-yoed. I didn't fix it. I beat around the bush, you know, instead of facing that problem head on, and the mental challenge of the weight loss. So here I am 5 years later, still not at my goal weight, but I've not given up yet. And I am more determined than ever to see it through this time, where I don't have to be on that weight loss yo-yo roller coaster anymore of the gain, the lose, the gain, the lose, and I'll just be in weight loss. I'll just be in maintenance mode, which is like so exciting and something I desperately want. So at the end of the day, I want it, and I want weight loss. I want to change my life. I want to change everything about it so I look nothing like the life I lived that made me miserable and unhappy. And I am so excited to live the life I'm living right now because I feel like I found Jess. I found Jess, and this is who I want to be. This is how I want it to look like, and this is the journey I am on that I want to see it through. I have a couple fun videos that will be coming up this month, because I'm taking a vacation, so I have to dress the body. So I'm gonna have I'll have a video with some outfits that I'm bringing to Vegas, and I'll also have a couple recipes that I've discovered that I wanna test. So those are all coming up, but I'll see you at the next one. I am Jess, you're watching Keto Rewind. Bye!